Credit card companies have a favorite kind of customer. It's not the person who pays late, they're risky. It's not the person who pays in full, they're not profitable. It's you, the one who pays on time, every time, but only the minimum. You're the golden goose. I know because I was that goose for almost a decade. I thought I was being responsible. I was actually being farmed. Here's what I didn't understand until I was $27,000 deep in credit card debt. Every single piece of this system, the payment they suggest, the way they calculate interest, the limit increases, the 0% offers, it's all engineered, not to help you, to keep you paying as long as mathematically possible. Today I'm going to show you exactly how the machine works, not because I want you to feel bad, because once you see the gears, you can finally stop getting caught in them. Here's the part that feels the most unfair, because nobody explains it. The grace period is a switch, not a gift. You only get interest-free time if you pay your statement balance in full. Miss that once, carry even a little balance, and the free ride can shut off. And here's the fun part. You don't always get it back right away. A lot of issuers want 1 or even 2 full billing cycles of paying the statement balance completely before they turn the grace period back on. So now, if you keep using the card like normal while you're carrying a balance, new purchases can start accruing interest from the day you buy them. Not from the statement, from the day you bought groceries. That's how people end up paying a 20 to 30% markup on their everyday life. And one more thing that makes people think they're losing their mind. You pay it off, you think you're done, and then you get hit with a tiny trailing interest charge. That last little bite between the statement date and when your payment posted. If that's ever happened to you, paying it off and still getting charged, tell me in the comments. Or, if your grace period disappeared and you didn't even realize it. I actually read those. Let me hit you with the kind of math that made me physically uncomfortable when I finally looked at it. If you've got a $5,000 credit card balance at around 23% interest, and you just pay the minimum, you're looking at roughly 23 years to get out, and about $8,900 in interest, for $5,000. That's not bad luck. That's the product working exactly as designed. Here's why. The minimum payment is usually like 1 to 3% of your balance, plus interest and maybe fees. It's small enough that you can keep swiping and stay in the game, but big enough that it feels like you're being responsible. It didn't used to be this low, by the way. Back in the 1970s, minimums were closer to 5%. Then they figured out smaller payments mean longer payoffs, which means more interest. Watch where your money goes. $2,000 balance, 20% interest, $40 minimum. About $33 is interest. $7 actually lowers the debt. You're paying, but you're barely moving. And it scales. $10,000 at 22% with a 3% minimum? Around 19 years. The average balance around $6,500 at 19%? 14 plus years, and you often pay roughly the balance again in interest. So reframe this. The minimum isn't what you should pay. It's the minimum that keeps you a customer the longest. And the crazy part? Adding even $100 a month can turn decades into years. We'll get to the exact plan later. Let's talk about how credit card interest actually works, because APR is not the number that hits you day to day. Credit cards charge interest daily. They take your APR, divide it by 365, and that's your daily rate. So 20% APR is about 0.055% per day. That sounds adorable, like, oh no, 0.5%. But it happens every single day, and tomorrow you're paying interest on yesterday's interest. And here's the part nobody advertises. The 29.99% APR you see can end up closer to about 34.96% effective with daily compounding. The higher the APR, the uglier that gap gets. Then there's the hook called average daily balance. They don't just look at what you owe on statement day. They average what you owed across the whole month, which means I'll just throw money at it 2 days before it's due helps way less than you think. I did that for years. I'd pay right before the due date and then stare at my balance like it was personally disrespecting me. So no, 22% APR is not just 22 divided by 12. Daily interest plus average balance is why it feels like the math is rigged. And the rule is simple. If what you're paying isn't clearly more than what you're getting charged in interest each month, you're not paying it off. You're paying admission to the hamster wheel. So once you're carrying a balance, you're in interest mode. And right around then, the next move shows up in your inbox. Congrats, we increased your credit limit. Quick reality check. Most of these limit increases are bank initiated, like 75 to 80%. It's usually not a gold star for being responsible. It's math. They've got algorithms that look at your spending, your payments, your risk, and they're not trying to help you have flexibility. They're optimizing profit. And it works. Automatic limit increases are linked to about 30% higher revolving balances on average. I can tell you how it feels from the inside. I once got 3 limit increases in 6 months, while I was $27,000 in credit card debt. I wasn't crushing it. I was a good customer. Translation, a higher limit is just more permitted debt, not more money. If you use the limit like it's your budget, you're basically doing unpaid work for their income statement. Self-defense is boring but effective. Say no to limit increases. Or call and lower your limit if you know you'll fill the space. And hey, if this is the kind of stuff you wish someone explained to you 10 years ago, hit like. It helps this reach the people who are where I used to be. And subscribe if you want more plain English money math. Okay, let's keep going. Here's the sneakiest 0% trick, and it comes down to one word: if. A real 0% intro APR credit card is pretty simple. During the promo, you pay no interest. When the promo ends, interest starts on whatever balance is still sitting there, going forward. Deferred interest is a different animal. It's the no interest if paid in full deal you see on a lot of store cards. And what that means is, interest is quietly running in the background the entire time. They just don't charge it, unless you miss the payoff by even a little. Example, $5,000, 12 months, $32.99%. You do great, you grind it down, and you end with $150 left. Boom. They can slap you with almost $1,000 in retroactive interest on the original $5,000. And yeah, I did this. In 2014, I financed a TV, thought it was 0% for 18 months. Last month, I had like $80 left, and suddenly that TV tried to cost me almost double. Most of those store 0% deals are deferred interest, and about 1 in 5 ends with that retro interest hit. I'm basically done is exactly when the trap closes. Alright, now you know the rules of the machine. Here's how you stop feeding it. Priority 1. Forget the minimum payment exists. Pick a fixed monthly payment you can actually sustain, and make sure it's clearly higher than what you're getting charged in interest each month. If your payment barely beats the interest, you're not paying off debt, you're renting it. Priority 2. Get your grace period back. That usually means 1 or 2 full cycles where you pay the statement balance in full, and during that window, you've got to slash new card spending way down, or stop completely, so you're not paying interest on old mistakes and today's groceries at the same time. Priority 3. No new purchases on cards you're carrying a balance on. That's just buying your normal life with a 20 to 30% markup. Priority 4. When they offer a higher limit, say no, or even lower it. Build guardrails so your budget doesn't rely on willpower. Priority 5. Any no interest if paid in full deal. Only do it if you calculate the exact monthly payoff and automate it. Otherwise, skip it. The goal isn't perfect discipline. It's setting up rules so discipline doesn't have to fight math every day. Sarah still makes fun of my budget spreadsheet with 14 tabs. But that spreadsheet is how I got out of 87K. Systems beat willpower. Every time.